Well, I suppose I love truck driving because of the adventure. Middle of the night, moonlit sky, bouncing along, and you got the stereo cranked up, the UHF slightly on in the background. You'd rather listen to the music, and watching an electrical storm over the top of the Snowies and out to the east, and you can watch it for 3 or 4 hours. It is just awesome. So little things like that, I'll always remember as a truck driver. Those things were pretty cool.
Something else from the dude. I'll get up to the left, mate. We're going to push it back down here, mate. And away around that left-hander.
Well, there's truckies and there's truckies, right? Some guys just do it because it's a living, and other guys really take it on, and it becomes your world, right? When I'd leave home, I was no longer the guy at home with his family. I was a truckie, and we joke about it. It's like you've got two different lives, and then the camaraderie and you know, your mates out on the road. That was pretty cool.
I've been driving trucks since I was 21, so I'm 62 now, so it's a few years, and I've been with these blokes just under 25 years. When I first started driving, I was driving for a bloke in Coffs Harbour, and then that's all I wanted to do. It's a great job if you just do your job and don't worry about too much.
When I had my accident, that's when my career sort of was cut short. I rolled the truck, and I think we spent about 6 hours on the side of the road out there. No one will pick you up. It ended up being the nurses from the clinic in a place called Mataranka. They stopped to see what was wrong, because you couldn't see the truck. It was down a ravine, and my partner, Tony, he'd pulled me up to the side of the road. So many emotions went through my head in the coming weeks after the accident. I realised all of a sudden life was going to be pretty different. Not realising how different. Being a driver, I did it for a living. I knew I had to work out some way of driving a motor vehicle again. Not knowing how, but I knew there'd be a way. Having said that, I waited 2 years. I waited 2 years from the time of the accident till the time I drove again. It was a bloody long 2 years. First 12 months I had the vehicle, I think I did 15,000 kilometres, and all of a sudden I've got just over 220,000 Ks on it. The idea of piloting came about purely because I didn't want to work in an office. and I wanted to get back as close to the industry that I just came out of.
We've had a lot of escort blokes, but they've mainly been in station wagons, you know, Falcon station wagons. And this is the only setup that I've seen like this, and it's to me, it's the perfect escort vehicle.
It's a bit like the truck drivers. There's truck drivers and then there's truckers. Places that modify vehicles, and then there's other places that take it to another level, and Capital do that. When I go away with work, I often have to sleep. I could be in the middle of nowhere, parked on the side of the highway. I go places where my phone doesn't work all the time. And I need that vehicle to be, you know, in top shape. And I've got to know that it's good to go whenever I go out there and turn that key. Not only for myself, but for my clients too. If I'm on a job and I break down, the job stops. You must have pilots on oversized loads. It's law. Well, they say that a pilot is just an extra light for the truck, but I see it as more than that. You're there for the public safety, you're there to notify other trucks, and you're there to look after the truck driver and his load.
I tried to spoon up to the dog for comfort in the night, but he's covered in thick black hair and his breath just isn't right. I even tried to choose your iPod shoe when your turn came along.
Well, I met Paul. We were going over to Manly Way with a load on, and the people we used to get to do our escort didn't have anybody, and they said, we'll give you a bloke to go over there, and it was Paul. And we went over there, and I took a liking to him when I first met him. When we're doing escort work and that, it's just a good job to have Paul with me to do the job.
Blackie's the kind of guy, not easy fun to be around because he's a character, but he's a professional operator. With the long loads, the back of the trailer has a big swing. And when I work with Blackie, I don't have to worry about stuff like that because I know that he's switched on. He's been doing these poles for over 20 years in the same job for Coffs Hardwoods. And he's the kind of guy that very well respected on the highway. A lot of people know him. Yeah, and he's the kind of guy you want to be around.
I only ever worked with another old bloke, and he lost one arm, but for Paul to work the way he does and have this sort of vehicle is unbelievable.
But I'm miserable till you come back.
To say that a vehicle is just a vehicle and gets you from point A to point B is really a gross understatement when you're placed in the position of being in a chair. I'm home nearly every day with my work. We get to places probably that I didn't even get to when I used to work driving trucks. Because I'm around more, we probably do more as a family than I ever did. And thanks to that van, we're doing it.